It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. Don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I was a sculptor, but then again, no. Or a man who makes potions in a traveling show. No, it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in the words how wonderful life is while you're it's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. He's a play high. Boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live.
Maybe we should have a toast to the bride and groom. Let's do that. We haven't done that yet. Let's have a toast to the bride and groom. Amy's currently studying medicine at the U of A. Next to her is Janelle Groom. It's Janelle Groom. Janelle, listen. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause, Janelle. Janelle teaches cosmetology at Harry Yanley. That's a school in Edmonton. Harry Yanley's a great school. I did my student teaching at Harry Yanley. Now, next to her is Katie Wiper, an old friend of Kim's. Katie, am I right? You're doing your PhD in educational psychology? That's great. Yeah, let's give that a round of applause. Yeah. Sitting next to her, we have Catherine Smith. Catherine is Kim's sister-in-law, and she has a background in criminal justice, and she's currently working at the John Howard Society, a social services organization at Edmonton. Did I nail that, Catherine? Okay. Now for Tristan's side. Let's give a round of applause for Tristan again. Just looking so dapper up there, Tristan. Good job. Okay, sitting next to Tristan is his friend Phil, an old friend since third form. Am I right? There we go. Third form is like grade 8 up here, and I promise that's my last attempt at a New Zealand accent. Did I ever promise I wouldn't do a New Zealand accent? No, sorry. I really want to embarrass myself. Okay. Sitting next to Phil is Tristan's brother Brandon, all the way from Brisbane, Australia. Next we have Jeff Smith, Tristan's new brother-in-law. Give a round of applause. And Tristan's sister, Letitia Donnell, also out of Brisbane, Australia. From Lethbridge / Noble 3rd, we have Kim's Uncle Alan, Aunt Glenda, cousins Terry and Smith, and Drew Fellman. From Regina, Saskatchewan, Kim's cousin Luke, his wife Nicole, and their daughters Nevaeh and Micaiah. Raise your hand when I say your name. Raise your hand. Over there. From Ottawa, we have a friend of Tristan and Kim's, Lindsay Belleville. Raise your hand. From Moncton, way out in New Brunswick, we have Kim's grandma and grandpa, Irene and Jim Nolan. Kim's aunts and uncles, Anne and George LeBlanc, and Janice and Brian McDonald. And Kim's cousin Mark and his wife Melissa. There they are. What's that? Christine and Randy. Where are they from? From Moncton, Christine and Randy, yeah. Tristan's mom, Marion Donald, and Barry Simpson. Also from Wellington, Tristan's best man, Phil Whitehead. From Auckland, New Zealand, Tristan's uncle, aunt, and cousin, Stephen, Lillian, and Maylee Chong. From Sydney, Australia, Tristan's great aunt Gladys. Great aunt Gladys, there you go. Higher, raise your hand higher. From Brisbane, Australia, Tristan's brother and sister, Brandon and Letitia. And lastly, but definitely not least, we have an old friend, Ariane Lefebvre, from Melbourne, Australia. But originally from Beaumont.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming tonight. It's just great to see everybody here, especially to join us on this special occasion for Kim and Tristan on their special day. If you notice, the weather worked out perfect for us. We had a little almost threatening cause, and all of a sudden we got closer to the wedding and the skies kind of opened up, and it was just gorgeous. One thing is that being the father of the bride, there's several things that are quite special. One of them is you get to escort your beautiful daughter up the aisle and join Tristan there. And then also you get to be the first person to speak. Yeah. And then that way it kind of lowers the bar for the rest of everybody as far as public speaking student, that way it makes it much easier. Okay. I'd like to welcome Tristan and the rest of the family, Smith family. I know it's almost seems like a formality because you've been kind of part of the family for quite some time. But no, it's very, very special to have you with us. And whenever anybody else from New Zealand is going to come and join us in Canada, make sure you come see us. Okay? Okay. So tonight, I want everybody to make sure you have a really good time. Back to the other hotels or wherever you're staying, make sure you take the shuttle and just have a really good time. No drinking and driving. Make sure I throw that in there. Okay, and with that, I'll pass it over to Roberta here for the other part.
Are you worried yet, kid? I don't understand. She kept saying, Mom, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? No, really. She even put me on the no request list for the DJ. I don't get it. Anne Murray? She's great, isn't she? Vernon and I are very proud of your accomplishments, Kim. You set your mind to be a journalist. You said that when you were really young. And you kind of, went this way and that way, but in the end, you accomplished what you would, what you said you would do. Kim is, if you haven't seen her on TV, she's great. Just a mom. Kim became a beautiful dancer. A lot of us have seen her dance. Beautiful ballets. She learned 3 languages. She traveled a good part of the world. She was always a great role model for Kim and Jeff. From Jeff and Amy. Sorry, Amy, I called you Kim all your life, sorry. She left home to go to Taiwan to teach, which was not a small feat. And, you know, like, we were really scared. But it gave Vernon and I and all the kids a great opportunity to visit all these many areas. Which brings me to a trip to Taiwan. Amy went to Taiwan at Christmas one year. First year Kim was there. And she came home and she said, "Oh, Mom, there's this really, really nice guy who always hangs around with Kim." And she says, "You know, he made us breakfast on Christmas morning, and he took me places. We've never seen Kim so happy. You bring the best out of her. And we lived with you for a year and a half, and we saw how well you treat her and her family. And meeting your family, we know where you came from and why you are the way you are. You have the best family as well. So again, we'd like to welcome you and your family into our family. Thank you."
Did you see that poor old lady trying to get up there? I don't think I can read this now. No. Then that wasn't fair. Now, could you kind of gap in between? I didn't bring the tissues. Yeah, I need it. And I do apologise right from the start for all those people that cannot understand me. You can ask Tristan for a translation afterwards, he can help. He is amazing. He is really, really a lovely boy. He's kind, he's considerate, he's loving. Do you hear the aunt? He, and I'm not quite sure where it gets it from. Should I say that it's from me? It could be from his dad, but anyway. He's very caring. You'll see later when they show the slideshow, he's so cute. And I'll tell you, his nickname was Trissy Mouse. Does everyone understand that? Did you understand what I was saying? Trissy Mouse. So mouse, but with an N. Okay? Trissy Mouse. And I'm actually not one for shortening my children's names, but my sister Lillian actually started calling him that. And so it's always stuck that he was Trissy Mouse. So you will see some really cute little baby photos of him, because he was a cute little boy. My baby boy, I could start and go back from the day that he was born, and I said I could sing that song. Well, that freaked him out, because I don't do singing. And 34 years might be a bit long. And he had these beautiful blonde curls. You'll see in these photos. I'm sure he's got some there. And he's my baby boy. He said that I can't keep saying that, but he is my baby boy. He's the youngest of my 3 sons. One of our sons couldn't come. Him and his wife were unable to come. They live in Brisbane, Australia. But my babies are here, so that's good. My chicks, I call them. But I do have to tell you a story about Tristan, and I have his permission to tell this story, because I've built him up to be this lovely little boy and this lovely young man. But one day, we were all asleep, and Tristan had gone to a party. I can probably take those off now. And he'd gone to this party, and he came home, and all of a sudden we hear this. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what on earth's that? We wake up, and I quickly turn on the lamp, and here's Tristan. No, it's too far. here's Tristan, and he is walking along wardrobe. I think you call it a closet, is that right? He's walking along the closet and he's got his hand patting along it. But he's at the hinge part, not the handle, but he wants the bathroom, the washroom. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, he is asleep. Here he is. I think he's drunk. And here he is. So I rush out of bed, go and stare at him, and I steer him to the bathroom, into the right direction. I have given you an abridged version of it all, but yes. So he wasn't always the little cherub. I can't remember. Oh, what is that? I had his permission to tell you that story. So the next thing that I have to do, I've finished talking about Tristan now, because everyone will talk about Tristan. What I next have to do is thank Vernon and Roberta. They have been his parents. Now that's going to now the makeup will run. And they have treated him as one of their own children. And I do thank you for that. 12,732 kilometres is a long way away. But I always told my children, as you will realise, that none of them live in New Zealand. What does that tell you? But I always said to my children that they were allowed to, I had to cut the apron strings and they could fly, and that's what they have done. Now for Kim. I have a poem. This is for Kim. It's not for the rest of you. I want to tell you on this day how much you mean to me and welcome you with open arms into our family. It was easy for me to see right from the very start the special way you love my son, the kindness in your heart. Thank you for the happiness you have brought into his life. I know he is very proud to have you as his wife. On this day that you have wed, it makes me very happy for my son to have gained a loving wife and a daughter has been given to me. I'm finished now. I've got to wipe the tears now. In the bag is a sheet. Oh, you can? She didn't want to say anything.
That's because I didn't know I was welcoming Kim into my family with my mum, but that's kind of cool that I get to do that. I'm Letitia, I'm Tristan's sister, his little sister, his only sister. And thankfully all of my brothers are getting married and I'm gaining all of these beautiful new sisters into my life, and I couldn't be happier to have Kim as a new sister. She's a wonderful human being, and I'm lucky that she's been able to accept Tristan into her life because I get to have her too. That's all.
I have one more thing. While I was walking through a shopping centre in Wellington last week, I found this shirt and I thought maybe Kim should wear it tomorrow.
First, let me congratulate Tristan and Kim, and Kim, let me personally welcome you to our family. For those that don't know me, I'm the older, quieter brother, and so it was with a little trepidation when Tristan asked me to give this speech. What do you want me to say? We communicate a lot through Facebook, that's all we do. So like Uncle Ben told a young Peter Parker in Amazing Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. So it's my job to take my older brother Powers and give you a glimpse into the early years of the man that you see before you. Now, many of you don't know me, but I was a very savvy 7-year-old when Tristan burst onto the scene. As the oldest, I'm here to tell you it's not all sunshines and rainbows. Sure, there are technically no hand-me-down clothes, and you're the biggest for this foreseeable future. But you're not the favourite anymore. And sure, you ask any parent, blah blah blah, I love all my children equally. But as soon as everyone got a look at all those blonde curls, it was obvious. And I'd like to take a pause here and point out that I too had those same delightful blonde curls. No one remembers. It gets better. Little did Tristan know that he would need to share the title of favourite in 2 years' time when Dad finally got the girl he always wanted. Little brothers can't do much in those early years. You're just waiting for them to be big enough to be the extra player in all the backyard sporting world championships that Zane and I seem to have every afternoon, with Mum telling us not to wreck the grass from the kitchen window. It's at this moment I'd like to reflect on my awesomeness as a big brother. His current group of friends will know that Tristan has a passion for martial arts, a broad selection of sporting interests, and an action movie repertoire second to none. That's all me. Sure, some older brothers will take you to your first pub, maybe even your first smoke, let you drive their car without a license. Nope, not me. Tristan has learned from movies that you don't ever touch a black man's radio, you could get your ass killed. There is only one way to get to the Jasper. If you need to know the difference between Young Yu, Sammo Hung, Jackie Chan Jet Li, and who the hell Wong Fei Hong is, Tristan is your man. For those of you with no clue, shame on you. If you need to know the exact minute you need to fast forward the Bloodsport fight scenes to get to the opening scene, that's right, I said fast forward. Old school people. So we fast forward through the years. I've now left home. Tristan is still the favourite. If you get to spend any time with him, you'll know he's never in a rush. He's lived his life to a mantra of everything will work itself out. This attitude has carried him through university. The only Donald to do this. Trips to China, Australia, Taiwan, Australia, then finally to Canada, and to this day that we've travelled far and wide to attend. Growing up, one thing that used to always piss me off, and I got a new one yesterday at the rehearsal dinner, is that I look so much like him. Last night I got called Tristan Senior. What the fuck? I was born first. He looks like me. People just smile, pat you on the shoulder. Sure. But as I look at the man before you, and the man he's become, sitting with his beautiful new wife, for the first time, I'm cool with it. To Tristan and Kim. Yes, we are. They make it.
To be telegrammed, so it'd be quick and brief, yeah, and share with everyone.
He says I'm a whipped boy already. Brother John's take away. The only thing you need to know is yes, dear. There's oh, I can see the shoppers behind you. Perfect. Thank you, she says, to enjoy the rest of your night.
I just wanted to thank everyone for coming. It wasn't that easy planning a wedding when I'm living in Lloydminster and Tristan's living in Edmonton and we're getting married in Jasper, so it wasn't the easiest, but thanks for everyone for being here. We had lots of help to organize everything. And just first off, you've probably noticed the photos on the table. Hopefully everyone had one to find where you sit, but the kiwis actually come from New Zealand. So Tristan's mom brought all of them with her, or she sent half of them and brought some. So thank you very much for bringing all those. And make sure you take them home with you today. And Mom and Dad, thank you for everything that you've done for Tristan and I. As you know, Tristan and I lived with Mom and Dad for the first year and a half that we moved to Canada. So thank you for everything. And
One note on that, I was also unemployed for probably 6 to 9 of those months. That was amazing. I was incredibly grateful for their patience. Shoveling the four-car driveway was the only thing I felt like I could ever do to help. I wanted to do more. Thank you so much, guys.
And just another thing, the flowers on the table are from Carrie Dean from Beaumont, so just make sure someone at your table takes them home at the end of the night. Just wanted to say thank you to my thoughtful bridesmaids. I don't know if most of you know, but for our stag and stagette, what they did was, because 3 of us live in the same building, and they decorated our condo building as in the Taiwanese theme, and then from there we walked down to Amy's apartment and it was decorated as in Australian New Zealand theme, and then we went to Janelle's apartment and it was decorated as Canada. So very, very thoughtful. Thank you very much. The flower girls, I don't know if they're here, but so cute. Thank you very much, girls. Bye, girls.
I wanted to thank the groomsmen, Phil and Brandon and Letitia, for coming all this way to sit with me today. That was just awesome. Jeff, I'm also thanking you, buddy. Pretty straightforward for you. But Phil, thank you for your kind words. Listen, I know it's hard, and I'm so glad that you made it here and where I was there. Brandon, everything that you said was absolutely true. You have been someone that I looked up to my entire life, literally and physically as well. And ask for better big brother. Thank you so much for being here. Just quickly, just thank you to Letitia as well. It's,
Turn into more of a roasting this evening, but the cake that you see over there is made by Tristan's coworker Sheena, and I think that's her first wedding cake that she's ever made. So she just, yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you so much.
if you want to make a new friend, please just go and say hello to Sheena. She will end up being your best friend in about
you to Tyson at the back there. He also, this is the first wedding that he's filmed, so I think he, might be looking for a new job on the side. But thank you very much, Tyson. Appreciate it. What else do we need to thank? Oh.
We got here a huge thank you to my sister, so Amy, other half, David, first Dave. So Dave's down here. We want to say a big thank you for doing an amazing job as I see.
I have a feeling that you're sticking around the family for some years to come, so. Yeah, no pressure. You're going to get in all of our photos, so
Speaking of photos, we'd like to thank our photographer. We do think he's going to hit that. But we do want to thank him, probably. Regine is also not here, but we're going to hit that one. We've also got DJ Gordon, which you guys are going to meet shortly. And we're going to give him a quick thank you now, which will lead him into having to do a really good job.
And just finally, thank you for everyone traveling so far to get here. I know it wasn't easy for many of you to be here, but so nice to have so many friends and family join us here today around the world, from around the world, celebrating in one room. It's pretty amazing. You've all been an important part of our lives, and we're so fortunate that you've all taken the weekend to be here, so thank you so much. And there are people that aren't able to be here this weekend, but we're just thinking about them, and they are in our thoughts. And to Tristan, I guess. I guess you're supposed to say something like that, but you never know where you're going to meet the person that you're going to want to spend the rest of your life with. So it's pretty lucky to meet Tristan, Kiwi guy in Taiwan. So who knew?
Give it a try, or just go to Taiwan. Maybe kind of the middle man just go straight to New Zealand.
Apparently there's a lot of available men in New Zealand.